All right, here I am. I am back. Um, yeah, it's been an ordeal. So, starting, I want to say 3 nights ago. I think it was 3 nights ago. We had storms move into Texas. At first, it just seemed like some rain, but then quickly it got very rough. And I'm talking, and I should have recorded it, and I'm talking lightning everywhere, thunder out the wazoo or the wazoo. Wazoo. Why do you say wazoo? Wazoo. Out the wazoo. And wind that was blowing so damn hard that we could see the trees in our yard going woo, woo, woo. Like it was a mess. And then all of a sudden we heard a crash or a boom. Johnny, my brother, thought it was a tornado or something. No, there was no tornadoes that I know of. Just a lot of very, very strong winds. These very same winds ended up crashing right, well, one tree ended up crashing right over here, and another one right down here down the road. Both times, the first time the power went out, that's when we knew shit was bad. I immediately called the electric company to let them know what was going on because that's what I do. I'm usually the first one in the neighborhood to make that phone call. Hey, yeah, power's out in our neighborhood. Yeah, we're out here in this place we live at such and such, and we need it back. And so, it didn't come back. it, it just came back. Let's see, it's almost 1 a.m. It came back about 5 hours ago. I think 5 hours ago. It came back at almost it was like, yeah, at almost 9, I think. I think it was like 8 something. The power came back. And like I said, it's almost midnight now. Or not midnight, but it's almost 1 in the morning. So the power came back and but we still didn't have internet. No internet. Nothing. I sat on my phone for a while, sat there, left some messages, kept leaving posts, just keeping people updated about why I'm not around. And what's funny is when we lost power, I was all loaded up and ready to go with a new video, which I'm going to redo that video. Stuff has come to light since I did that video. And looking back at that video, it was garbage. I wasn't happy with it. So there is that. Um, but so as I'm sitting there, my phone is at the ready for when my router kicks back on. It was connected or sort of connected to the router, but there was no internet. And I sat there using mobile data, which was abysmal. Um, I don't get very much data in high speed. I get maybe 12 gigs, 15 gigs, something like that. And I'm pretty sure I already burnt through it in the last 3 days. Um, but all of a sudden, my phone acts up. I'm not paying attention up to the little bit of information at the top of the phone. Um, and all of a sudden, nothing was working right. And then it all worked. Not only did it work right, it worked amazingly well. All of a sudden, I'm like, what's going on? And then I happened to eyeball the Wi-Fi connection on the phone. I'm like, oh wow, it's connected. And I told my brother, I let him know. I'm like, hey, internet's back. Get up. You don't need to sleep tonight. Um, so, um, he's still laying in there. It's been an ordeal. We had no power. We were using a generator outside, and it was only enough. The generator was only enough, and we're still getting flickering lights, like something's not quite right. But supposedly they're still working further up the line in other areas, so that's probably why it's flickering here. Um, Hopefully it doesn't go out. So the moment I realized that was happening, the moment I realized that the internet was back, I came and I sat down and started to record this video. And I hate doing it like this because usually I've gotten to where my videos are me sort of sitting up close with this up like this and just sort of like this because I don't want you to see the horribleness that is behind me. I don't I don't like people to see that. It looks terrible. I know I'm very self-conscious about it now, and there was a time where I wasn't, and now I am, and honestly that's kind of sad. But now I'm self-conscious about it. Oh, and that's not even the kicker. You're going to love this. It it almost brought my brother to tears. He wanted to cry about it, but he's a man. He's a real man. He's a manly man. Uh, the RV he was gonna live in next door is mangled. Trees crashed into it along with a truck he had over there on his property. So he's stuck here with me even longer, which means this behind me stays like this for a bit longer. There's nothing I can do about it. When I tell people that it's a mess back here because it's storage, I'm not fucking kidding. This room is absolutely storage. It hasn't been a bedroom in years. It went from bedroom to den because this at one point was just a den. I had another desk behind me at one point and an older Windows 98 computer behind me at one point. And it went from bedroom to den to now storage. The majority of the shit you fucking see behind me is my brother's. All right, the movies, the shit in the corner, the bags and shit, some of the so I think even some of the boxes and stuff. I believe it's a lot of his shit. It's not mine, and there's nowhere for it. This is a very small house. One of these days, I need to show everybody a video from my phone of my tiny home. I mean, it's not a tiny home, quote unquote, but it's not a normal average sized home either. It's the size of an apartment, a small apartment, a cheap apartment. There's no room for Jack. There's a lot of stuff between the two of us, between me and my brother. And you can't even see the stuff that's over in this corner or over in this corner. You can't see the rest of it. So it's frustrating. You think I like that it's ugly like this? You think that I like it like this? I don't like it like this. I hate it. I despise it. I abhor it. I can't stand it. I don't like it like this. But there's nothing I can do right now. And now it's gonna extend it. It's extended. And the whole reason I used to bring up, hey, you can donate. You can donate through my PayPal account. And I try not to because I try not to be DSP. I mean, I think if there's one thing that people should strive is to not be like DSP, Dark Side Phil. And I don't do that. But it's going to get to the point where I'm probably every now and then going to mention that you can donate. I'm not going to beg constantly or anything, but I got to figure out something. My brother needs something to live in next door. He was about ready to go get his utilities on and live over there. And this storm has fucked everything to hell and back. It is absolutely just devastated shit. So yeah, you think I don't know about this crap behind me? You think that I like it? You think that I'm happy with it or not phased by it or whatever? You're full of shit. I can't stand it. I hate that it's the way it is back there. I hate that you have to see it. I can't do the green screen thing all the time. It's so big that I have hell moving around in the room. It's that GD big, and I don't know. I'm thinking at one point, well, I can't move anything around. The floor's rotted behind me. Like I'm my chair right now is sitting on this piece of cheap wood that's falling apart that we laid over the floor because the floor is rotting. I I know you're not supposed to air your dirty laundry, and that people don't like to hear about that when they come to a channel, and I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm just making an exception for this video, and I'm probably not gonna bring up shit again for a while. At least for a good while, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating that shit looks like this. You think I like that it looks like this? Hell no. But my hands are tied. I don't have money flowing out of my behind. If I had the money, I would get my brother a house to live in next door. I would get him some small house. It would be one of those large storage buildings that you could make into a home. He would have it built into a home, and he'd be living next door if I had money flowing out of my butt. I don't. I'm not made of money. So this behind me is going to be like this for a whole lot longer. You're going to have to bear with me. Okay. I hate it. I don't like that it's like that, but I've got no room for things. I've got no space for anything. This is a very small home. And there's just nothing that can be done about it right now. That was one of the reasons why I was wanting to switch to being a VTuber at one point, or I experimented with it, and people hated it. Don't do that. Are you fucking kidding me? Because then you wouldn't see all this. Because the way that stuff works is the camera sort of takes your movements and translates it to a character. You never see the actual home, you never see my actual face. And I can't tell you how many times that I've wanted to start a new channel as somebody different, as a VTuber or something, and try from scratch, restart from the beginning, because I was just, I feel stuck in the situation that I am. Oh, there's been plenty of times I've thought about it. There's been plenty of times where, I'm sorry this video has changed from something to something else, but I'll get back onto it here in a minute. I'll go back to talking about the storm, but I have thought before about starting over with a VTube personality, maybe a voice changer, and just being done with it. You know, I've had that thought before. I've thought to myself, oh, no, 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 I'm done. I've thought about that before, but I keep getting subscribers. Sometimes I'll do a video and it hits pretty good, and then I get a lot of subscribers, like with the Me TV Tune video. That surprised the hell out of me. I was like, what the hell? But I hate that, because now I'm thinking, should I do videos about cartoons some more? But it's not the only thing I'm passionate about. It's not the only thing I care about. Why should I have to do another video talking about the latest in cartoon news when I have so many different things I like to talk about? First and foremost is video games in the industry and technology. You know, I don't want to sit here and just become a channel where I talk about cartoons and stuff like that. I most of the videos that I keep wanting to do are just news, daily. I was trying to do daily news, which I don't mind doing. I like doing daily news. I like trying to do daily news. But the algorithm said, oh, this thing about cartoons, it struck with a lot of people. I don't know how to hit again. I don't know how to get that sort of attention again. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to. I don't want to stress about chasing. I don't want to chase the algorithm. There. That's what I was trying to say. I don't want to chase the algorithm. I would rather just make what makes me happy. Because what is the point of doing something that doesn't make you happy? That's like that saying, they say, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Because if it's a job that you're having fun doing, it's not work. It's not work when you enjoy what you do. That's the point of that. And if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, what's the point? So I don't want to chase the algorithm. I don't want to at all. I want to just do what makes me happy. It's hard. But anyhow, sorry about all that. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle things. Moving on. So during the storm, my neighbors, they took off across the street. The one that I went on a field day one time. I went on a field day and I was in a bad mood and I talked about just this was a ways back when I did this, but I said something stupid. I said I wanted to do something. I wanted to just go over there and put a bullet through through them because their dog would just raise hell, raise hell, raise hell. A lot of that's over with. It's mostly quiet. I'm getting sleep. But that very same neighbor, they have two dogs. During the storm, they left, and they left the dogs here to fend for themselves. Those poor dogs were flipping out during this storm. Their smallest dog, they have two dogs, a big dog and a small dog. The small dog ran over here to our property and ran under our house. The big dog was stuck in their makeshift pen across the road and could only get into one of its little dog boxes and ride it out. We we brought our dogs in. Both of them were in throughout the storm. We were not going to leave them out there. You see this behind me? This is one of the reasons my room has an eyesore behind it. That's a kennel. I have a big dog. He's a hound. He goes in there during bad weather and whatnot. That's a great big kennel right there. That's one of the reasons there's an eyesore back here. Okay? It probably wouldn't look so bad except for that kennel that has to be here. And again, I have a small house. There's nowhere else for it. I had to make room to put that son of a bitch right there. So I get tired of the complaining. It's driving me crazy. You think I don't know about this? You think I don't have an issue with this? Get the fuck out of here with that. I know it's an issue. I know it's an eyesore. It's stressful. But that's the kennel that he stays in. So we brought our big old hound in during that storm. We did not leave that poor guy out there. You don't leave your animals out in weather like that. A big hard storm like that, you do not leave your animals like that. You take them with you. And they didn't take them. The people across the road, they didn't take them. You know, people tell me I'm unhinged. You don't know what's going on here. People who sit there and accuse me of being unhinged, you're damn right I'm unhinged. My life has been a living hell. You're all lucky that I'm not doing really crazy shit like a lot of other people do. You know, I could be worse than DSP, you know? I could be absolutely the worst thing in the world, but I keep it together pretty well, I think. I think I'm pretty nice. I try to be as nice and normal as well, objectively normal as possible, you know? But we brought our dogs in. They rode it out. Um, and then of course we had him behind us. He was in that kennel. Oh God, until the storm was over the next day. Took him out there and put him back out, and he's happy. Uh, he likes being outside. He's not out there all the time. If the weather's really bad, I bring him in. If it's too hot, if the weather's too hot, I bring him in. He doesn't stay out there all the time. And he's on a very long leash with two dog boxes actually, two dog houses, I should say, and he can get in either one of those dog houses. So he's not bad off. You know, other dogs have it worse. There are dogs in my neighborhoods that doesn't get they don't get fed. There are dogs in my neighborhood that do not get fed. They're skinny, they're mangy, and the people around here don't take care of their animals. Or they get too many animals that they can't take care of them all. But during that storm, you could hear all the wind just whipping really hard. You could hear trees going down on different roads. It was like being in a hurricane. It was that bad. And if a regular inland storm from up north is that bad, imagine what a hurricane's going to be like living here. I'm going to tell you, if this YouTube thing takes off for me, which I'm trying really hard, I'm getting the hell. I might get the hell out of here. I might just build a brick house if I ever had the money. I would just build me a great big brick home, center of the property, just a great big brick house, big sturdy house that can survive storms more. or I move up north somewhere and deal with other sort of disasters. I'd rather deal with snowstorms, I think. I don't know. But that was a pretty hellacious ordeal. And but we're back. I'm back. And I have another video I gotta do. I'm gonna ditch the old video. I started to try and upload it and it was meh. It was meh. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to deal with something like that again for a while. Them being without the power and God, it got hot. Texas is a hot state. You go down south, it's really hot. I know people who live up north and they're like, God, it's in the low 80s, the upper 70s. God, it's so hot. It's so hot, I'm sweating so bad. You're a panty wuss, okay? You are a wimp. Move to Texas, you'll know hot. The heat here is excruciating. You'll be you'll be there are people that I know right now that if they didn't have jobs here that where they have to work in this state, they would love to move back up north somewhere because it just gets too hot for them. They're like, Jesus Christ, how can you handle this weather? And I'm like, I grew up dealing with this crap, you know? So, yeah, that's everything. I think that's everything off my chest. Sorry for getting antsy and everything about stuff. I'm just a lot of frustration. It's a bit of a disaster here in Texas. There are people in Houston who are still without power, millions, and there's people who died from this. It's bad. It's very bad. So I'm scared of what a hurricane's going to be like. If that was as bad as it was, if we get hit with a hurricane, we are effed in the A. We are totally screwed if we get hit with a hurricane, even a moderately strong hurricane. We're screwed. We have so much water built up in our dams and everything right now. It's insane. There's a bridge. There's a main road that goes from where I live out to another bigger city, well, small city, big town. We'll say a big town. And it's where I go to see the doctors. It's where I go to get my medicine and everything. There's a bridge on the way down that road from way back here in the sticks where we live. That bridge is out. They had just finished repairs, I think, last year. They just finished repairs on that bridge last year. They finished, and now there's on the other side end of the bridge. It's wiped out underneath. You can't drive across it. We have to now go a scenic route way the hell around. That's almost an hour because that bridge is out. You see disasters on TV and you hope it's never you, and then it is you. And it's even worse when you look at what's going on down in South America, I think. Oh, they're really bad off in South America. They they're dealing with some massive flooding. We dealt with some flooding too. Our road got washed out. It was bad. It got washed out and it flooded at a low point. There's one road coming into my subdivision. Nobody could get in or out. Every time that little part of the road, that one spot in the road going out fills up with water, we're stuck in here. That's part of why the power took so long to get turned back on. They couldn't get in here. But all right, I'm back. I'll try and upload more regularly. Have a good one.